Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be explaining on how you can register for 30 days of Google Cloud. First of all, uh, you can read these FAQs. You'll get a brief idea about the program, and you must also read the terms and conditions and code of conduct. These three are important. Make sure you read them. To enroll for the program, click on Enroll in the Program tab. Okay. Click on Enroll in the Program button and you'll be routed to Google Forms. This is where you must register for the program. Just read this to know about the program. And these are some of the prizes you can win by completing the tasks and assignments in the program. Click on Next. These are the terms and conditions. You can read it and accept the terms. Click Next. So here you must fill out your details like name, email ID, and say shipping address. This is if you win some prizes, it will be shipped to this particular address. Make sure you fill it correctly. So let's fill up the details here. So this is important. You need to select Adi Chunchandgiri Institute of Technology. Select your graduation year, and this is also important. In order to access Quick Labs, you should have an internet connection with a and a laptop with latest Chrome browser. I have it, so I'll say yes. So I'm gonna assume that you people don't have a Quick Labs account. So I'll click on no, and I want to create one. Just click on next. So if you click on this link here, it will take you to Quick Labs. It's the platform we'll be solving labs and working on. You need to have this. You need to have a Quick Labs account. So press join. Sign in with Google. So you must use the same email ID that you provided in the Google Forms, so that you can receive the credits to to get access to the paid labs. We'll be solving on later. After you have created an account, uh, actually go back to the your form and click I verify. Yeah, this says you have created an account on Quick Labs using the same email. So if you have done that, click on I verify and click on next. So you need to log into the Quick Labs platform. I'll sign in with Google. Always remember, you must always use the same email that you provided in the form. Accept the terms of service. And from here, you should follow this. So the now you're logged in, you must follow the second step. Here it says complete this lab. So to complete this lab, it's a free lab. You need not have any credits in your account to complete this lab. So click on this link. It will take you to the lab page. So you can watch this video. For now, I'll be skipping this. It's asking to sign in again, so I'll do it. So now I'm in. Please make sure that this email is matching with the email that you have provided in the forms. Because if it's a different email, you'll be having a lots of problem when you'll be receiving credits, that the free credits to complete the paid labs. So please keep an eye on this. I'll walk you through this lab. You can, if you want, you can complete this lab along with me. So here, this is a very basic lab, and you can say an introduction to Google Cloud and Quick Labs platform. Here, first of all, you must know about the Start Lab button. Start Lab button is nothing but this green button you are seeing here. By clicking this button, your lab will be started and the timer will start ticking. Before the timer goes out, I mean, before the timer hits 000, you must make sure that your lab is completed, because the the email and password you'll be getting after starting the lab, it's temporary. Once the timer hits 0, all the all the credentials, that is emails and passwords, that you have been given to complete the lab will be vanished. So make sure that you complete the lab within the given period of time. I mean, 45 minutes for a basic lab is very much. They will always give you enough amount of time, actually extra time, to complete all the labs. You need not worry about that. This time is same as what I said. This time represents this one over here. To talk about score, not every lab has a scoring system. Some of the lab have an activity, have a feature called activity tracking. That is, it's a step-by-step process. If you complete a certain steps, you'll be completing a certain activity. On completing certain activities, you'll be scored. That's how you pass a lab. You'll have to score a certain number of marks, and if you do so, the lab will be passed and you'll clear that lab. So you need not purchasing credits. That's the whole idea of this program, to give you free access to this platform. All the this basically this what do you say, these credits cost $1 for a $1 for a single credit. It will be really costly if you buy them, so you need not worry. You'll be getting them for free, almost 600 credits free from Google. Only for the this program is only for the institutes with developer student clubs on the campus. We are lucky we have one, so we all will be getting free credits. So let's start our lab. To start our lab, we'll click on Start Lab button. Verify that you are not a robot. So here you can see, as soon as you click Start Lab button, the timer will start running and you'll have these three fields here: the username, the password, and GCB project ID. You must always have in mind, these credentials are temporary. Until the timer ticks down, you can use them. After the timer goes out, it will be vanished and this will be no longer valid. Okay. So let's answer some questions. This builds a temporary environment in Google Cloud. That's obviously Start button. When you click the Start button, it will give you a temporary environment in Google Cloud to work on, to practice on. So submit it. It says right. Once the timer reaches 0, you will lose access to the temporary cloud environment. Yeah, that's what I said. If you lose access to these temporary credits, obviously you'll be losing access to Google Cloud environment. So that's also true. Always keep in mind to complete your labs before the timer ticks out. So submit it. Then some labs have tracking, which scores your completion of hands-on lab activities, which is true as I mentioned earlier. So that's true. In order to receive completion credit for a lab, this completion credit is like a credit that you receive when you complete a lab. For that, you must complete activities. So that's also true. Now we have answered four questions. Let's move on. So you can see this right here, the open Google Console button and three fields. Basically, they are trying to explain the same here. So open Google Console button. When you press this, it will take you to the Google Cloud platform. And the project ID is temporary, which is present here. We'll talk about it later. When we open the console, I'll be talking about it. This username and password will be used to log into the platform, Google Cloud platform. And this username is called these credentials are representing something called Cloud IAM. This IAM means identity and access management. We'll be talking about that too. Okay, now let's log into Google Cloud platform. You'll be asked to enter an email. Please don't enter your email here. You'll be entering this email which says username. You can enter that, and you'll be asked for password. Again, please enter the password provided here and accept it. It says new account, but it's a temporary account. For a temporary account, we need no recovery methods because we'll not be using this account ever again after we complete this lab. So confirm it. So this is what you should be seeing every time. Okay, let's agree and continue. Let me zoom in a bit. So this is what you will be seeing every time you log into a Google Cloud platform. Here you can see the project ID. This ID should be matching with the ID provided to you here. This one is it will be the one and same because you logged in with the given credentials. So that's it. Let's move on with the lab. So there's some questions. What field is not found on the left panel? We have project ID, we have password, we have open Google Console button. We don't have a system admin here. So that's the odd one out. Submit it. The username in the left panel which resembles. So I have answered this right before I explained you about this. So this username and password will represent the IAM, that is Cloud Identity and Access Management. So it's true. So now let's talk about projects. So to work on Google Cloud Platform, you'll need to have a certain projects. This will show your current project you're working on. You can see all the projects. This is automatically generated. This will be your current project because we are working on a Quick Labs account. So this will be just temporary. Everything is temporary. So this is the project you're working on, the ID of the project. That is what they are trying to say right here. So let's understand what you have learned so far. An organizing entity for anything you build on Google Cloud. As I said, anything you build on Google Cloud, it will be called project. Google Cloud project is the answer. Quick Labs resources is shared. That means it's read only. As I mentioned here, these are the resources they are talking about. These are read only. You can't modify it because it's provided to you by Quick Labs, and these are not your own resources. So you will be able to see and read it. You'll not be able to modify or delete it. So that will be true. So submit. And quick lab resources is the project where you run all of your lab steps. This is completely false. Quick labs resources is something that is related to your current project, but not the thing where you run all your lab steps. So that's false. We got everything right there. So let's talk about navigation menu and services of the. From here on, I'll be calling it GCP. Uh, yeah. So navigation menu. Okay, navigation menu is right this. They call it as bugger menu as well. These three lines. This will help you navigate to different set of features provided in GCP. We have a lot of features here. We have compute features, we have storage features, networking features, tools to manage your applications, big data, and artificial intelligence. We will be using this in our second track. Sorry for the fumble. Okay, this navigation will uh, help you reach the different features. This is just all the different features, different type of features provided by the GCP. There are something called roles and permissions. This is important actually. When you're a IAM and admin, you can call different people to work on your projects and give them roles. These roles will consist like an editor role or something like that. An editor can make changes and read, but cannot say change any privacy or security features without you noticing it. He'll be needing permissions to do such things. So this is all about IAM and permissions. If you are the admin, you'll be able to give roles and say if you have three persons working on your project, you can give them three roles and control them or control what can they do, so they'll not be able to misuse the platform without your permission. So let's try to find out our username. That's the IAM. So try to find it. When you click on IAM, it takes time to load. Here you can see this is the account you we have logged in. This will be similar to let's say this thing. So in that way, no, not that thing, but this username. It will be similar to that. In that way, you can identify who's using the platform. You can control who's using the platform and grant permissions over here. Do things. Do manage the permissions and roles of the members. So this is about that. Let's move on. So here it explains roles. Viewer role, it has permissions for read-only actions. Let's say you have a project manager and he needs to see your project, what all the features you have added on your projects, but you don't give him the permissions to edit or manage something. That's viewer role. You can only view something that's read only, and it will not affect any change of state or something like that. Editor role, editor role will be having all the permissions over here. He will be able to see all the resources and data, but he'll also get the permissions to modify that actions or resources or any state. That's for editor role. Owner role, owner role will be as same as you. If you own the project, if you have started the project, you will be giving all the permissions which you have. So let's test our understanding so far. Which offers quick access to the platform services. As I said over here, let's go to home. Which this burger menu will give access to all of these features here. So the answer should be navigation menu. It's navigation menu. Submit it. So when you create a project, the primitive roles will be set to project level. That means you'll be able to control access to a project level. You'll be able to change things on a project level. We'll be talking about this when you are working on a project or implementing something. For now, you need to understand that when you don't set any roles or something for a person, uh, they'll be having the same permissions as you. That's true. Primitive roles means project level permissions. If you don't this basically means if you don't set specific roles for a person that is working on a project, he will be getting by default he'll be getting project level permissions. That's true. Provides all the Viva permissions plus permissions for actions that modify state. So this right here is Viva role, and plus permissions to permissions for actions to modify state and such things. This is obviously editor role. There are APIs and services which we can use in our projects. Let's quickly see some of them. Here we have APIs. Let's go to library to see what all the APIs Google provides to us for using them in our applications. Maps. You must have heard about. I mean, you obviously use Zomato and Swiggy. So they have a maps feature, which is by Google, obviously. So they use this API for the information of maps. Places API is when you search a certain place. Let's say you search for a government hospital, and the list pops up. This is the API they use. This is the API Google Search uses, and many other applications uses this API to generate places. Cloud Vision API. So we'll be using all of the APIs, mostly all of the APIs throughout our program. You must have heard about Google Drive API, Gmail. So these are all APIs. Let's say you want to build a mail alert system. When you receive a mail from your friends or say anyone, you get a new email, you must be notified. For that, you can set up a Gmail API. I'm sorry. Yeah. You must enable Gmail API and work on it so that you can make something out of it. There are YouTube APIs. There are endless. You keep on scrolling. There are endless APIs. We'll be looking uh, forward to use them. For now, it's a basic idea what all APIs you can use. After pasting, press Ctrl X to exit the editor mode, and then press Y to save the modified buffer, and then press enter to go back to the terminal. Now let's use the cat command to print the content of the text file. So it's printing Google Cloud and Quick Labs are the best. So now let's go back to the quick labs page. So this is all about the first lab. You have successfully completed your first lab. So you can go ahead and end your lab now. These are some next steps to be taken. You can read it to understand better your lab, and all the credentials will. So press on this Quick Labs logo to come to this home screen. Uh, Make sure to put this. So yeah, with this. Now we have completed these three steps. Now we'll go to My Learning, leave public profile, make profile public. So your public profile is public now. You will need to copy this and paste it here. This is the public profile ID. This is important, you guys. This is very necessary to get your credits. And finally, you can finally submit this form. I acknowledge. So if you have filled this form correctly, press on I acknowledge, and these steps we'll be doing it together. The instructions to avail free credits, will be doing it together live on YouTube. So it will be maybe on October 1st or 2nd. uh, so wait until then. You don't want to mess up these steps because you'll be losing the credits. So let's do this together. And as they say, do remember to reach out to your campus facilitators. I am the facilitator for this program. So we'll be doing this part on YouTube live on October 2nd, maybe. So you need not to do this. We'll do this together. Thank you, everyone. Just submit your forms. You'll receive a confirmation mail. Maybe check your promotions folder. It will be present there. But please, I suggest you to not do those steps. We'll be doing it together anyway. So thank you, guys. We'll see you on the YouTube live session. Please join in. Thank you.